Do you ever wonder about your roots? Why you are who you are? For many of us, the places we as children grew up, the nurturing of our parents, our friends and neighbors, and the opportunities presented to us have greatly impacted our lives. How do we say thank you to those who have paved the way for us? One way many people say thank you is to pass a gift on to future generations. Generosity to your own family is a wonderful way to pass on your love and hope for their future. Gifts to religious entities, civic organizations, colleges, and charitable causes are additional other ways people sow seeds of new life and hope for the future. Pocahontas County resident Emma Beard, now 97 years old, supports her community with heartfelt generosity.
We are supposed to give. We all owe because we are given everything by God. And we are supposed to love everybody and divide with anybody anything we have if we can spare it. And I have tried to live by that since I was able to give.
Pocahontas County Free Libraries is one of the finest rural library systems in America. In 2003, it was one of 3 libraries nationwide that received the nation's highest library award, the National Community Service Award of the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Pocahontas Libraries, with branches in Durban, Greenbrier, Marlinton, and Hillsborough, spans a distance of 65 miles north to south in this sparsely populated county. The elementary schools in Hillsborough and Marlinton rely upon the adjacent libraries for their school children. Adults as well use the libraries heavily.
I'm a college student and I come here because it's easy access for me to come and use the computers to check my classes online.
In our emerging information era, high-speed internet computers are available for free public use, bridging the divide to those who cannot afford home computers. And public meeting rooms are used by dozens of different organizations that invigorate their communities.
I wouldn't want to live in a community without a library.
My grandmother lived in Pocahontas County for a long time, and as a child I go there every summer and visit her. And I know every summer we'd always go to the library. It was just something that we always knew that I was going to do.
This is wonderful, the way that the children come over from school and become familiar with the library and how to check out a book and all the other things that the library offers.
Good morning. Good morning. Aha.
It's wonderful. It's a community center.
The state of West Virginia is at the bottom of national rankings in average public library funding. It is the generous contributions of its donors that has enabled Pocahontas Libraries to build a nationally recognized program.
The gift of one person was what set everything in motion for the McClintock Library. Betty McClintock was a very well-educated lady, and unfortunately she had no direct descendants, so part of her legacy was to give money and some property to Pocahontas County Library to build. And we named it for her.
With operating expenses continuing to be extremely tight and government-based funding uncertain and inconsistent, the Pocahontas Library Board of Trustees set up the 2020 fund through the Greater Greenbrier Community Foundation. Contributions into this fund remain perpetually as principal, while interest can be used toward operating expenses for the library. A goal is to be independent of government aid by the year 2020. Furthermore, the fund's name speaks to the library's vision for the community.
People who love to read can come here to read a book, and every time they do that, they get more fluent at reading and they get better at it. And I think that's good because children's, when they learn, they gotta know how to read.
The buildings aren't enough. One of the not so glamorous things is maintenance, staffing, keeping the collection up, keeping the doors open. When my sister died, I inherited money from her. And so my family decided that we would give money to the 2020 fund, which is for perpetuity, and would supply funds for the library to continue to exist. I have given this money early so it can work longer. This is a lasting contribution.